I should thank you very much. Well, my next guest is pushing to cut the salary of DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to $1 unless action is taken to address this crisis. Let's bring in Texas Republican Congressman Chip Roy. So, Representative Roy, apparently you would like to use the so-called Holman rule. Explain to us how this can be done.
Yeah, it's one of the tools that we have to use our authority to say that if there's an individual who's not doing their job, or that we think we ought to have a pointed response to their failures, their inability to actually follow the law, that we can, zero out their salary, that we can say that, look, we're not going to pay you. But more importantly, we need to use the power of the purse more broadly. The founders gave it to us, importantly, for the House of Representatives to be able to check the executive branch. And look, Charles, I live in Texas. Last week I was sitting at a round table with mothers who lost their children to fentanyl, personally, mothers and fathers. We're dealing with the chaos in South Texas with the ranches. We saw an 11-year-old boy die in a bus wreck 2 weeks ago in Ohio with somebody who was let through by the Biden administration and let into the United States. 1.6 million gotaways. We found ammo and weapons in South Texas just this last weekend. Our country is under assault. This administration knows it. They don't care. And it is the obligation of the House Republicans to stand up and do something about it. So if anybody thinks that we're just going to go along with a simple continuing resolution, the status quo, to continue to allow this administration to do what they're doing to the American people every day, they got another thing coming. We're not going to do that. And Republicans need to wake up and fight. We were given the House of Representatives for a reason, and it wasn't to go along with the status quo.
I suspect right now 90% of our audience is standing up cheering the television. Some probably broke out tambourines, right? But here's the thing. Your leadership just never comes through on this kind of stuff. I mean, listen, you're right. We had the midterm elections. There was a message sent loud and clear. And yet, while the woes are tough in Texas, everyone in this country is suffering. The fentanyl is a national crisis. Death in this country of our youth is a national crisis. This is nuts. This is crazy. And yet, I love hearing what you have to say, but can you convince your own party to be tough?
Well, we're working on it. I mean, look, remember last December, unfortunately, 17 Senate Republicans joined with the Pelosi Democrats to take away the power of the purse until this September. And then, unfortunately, with the debt deal that was cut on Memorial Day weekend, I voted against it. We fought it. We actually shut the House down for a week in response, trying to send a signal we're not going to tolerate that again. I can promise you, there is a large block of us. You are going to address the border, or you're going to have a massive fight on your hands in the House of Representatives. We are not going to tolerate this anymore. It's time for us to do our job. We can't continue this. This is an actual damage being done to the American people, our own constituents getting harmed. We can't allow that to continue. House Republicans have an obligation to step up and do their job.
Well, the good news is I'm seeing this issue now climb the charts, as it were, as an important issue across the board. Of course, the economy is there, but I'm seeing border move up the charts like a hit record. Then you have someone like a Kristen Sinema who's changed parties, and now she's demanding action.
Well, and that's a good sign. But I want to be very clear. More money is not a solution. We have to hold the Biden administration accountable to change policies and stop releasing people in the United States. We're empowering cartels. If you saw the movie The Sound of Freedom, you're funding that. You're allowing that to occur. The little girls getting sold into the sex trafficking trade. We can't allow that to happen. And for everybody hand-wringing about a government shutdown for 2 or 3 weeks in October, how about the fact that we allowed them to shut down the entire American economy, shut down our schools, put our kids in the corner, force them into masks, and they want a hand-wring over 2 weeks of the frigging government shutting down? Come on. Look, we need to stand up with our Border Patrol and our law enforcement. I don't want to take away any paychecks. They will get paid, but we're going to fight on this issue throughout September. And if come October 1, Democrats don't come to the table, Republicans should not capitulate like they did on Memorial Day weekend.
So I was reading Mayorkas' his net worth is estimated $8 million. As a lawyer, he's worked for some pretty blue chip firms: Blackstone, Airbnb,
right.
Northrop Grumman. You talked earlier, we've got a minute to go, but you talked initially about not stopping there. I love the idea of us, the taxpayer, not paying officials who are not doing their jobs. We see it in the private sector all the time. Where would you look to? How can we broaden this out?
Well, first of all, Alejandro Mayorkas lied to me under oath. We think he's lied multiple times under oath. We should hold him accountable. We should impeach him. But in the absence of that, why would you give more money to a Department of Homeland Security that is not securing the homeland? If you hire somebody to paint your house, and they come to your house and they scrape the paint off and they walk away and they say, give me $1,000, you would look at them like they're crazy. You don't pay people not to do their job. We pay people and expect them to do their job. That's why the founders gave us that power. We should do something with that, and we should do it with Alejandro Mayorkas, but the entire agency. Force Biden to come to the table. Let's stop releasing people in the United States. Let's target the cartels.
Yeah.
Let's pay Texas back. Let's secure the border. Let's do our actual constitutional job.
Representative Chip Roy, fantastic talking to you. Keep pushing. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.